Seth?
Mike, I guess just for you guys this week, how tough was it, I guess, balancing the news of Sam's death with, preparing for a game today?
Yeah, it was tough.
Steve?
Coach, offensively, again, kind of struggle moving the football. I mean, what is it maybe that Alabama does that kind of gives you guys some trouble?
I didn't think we played well. I didn't think we played well at all. I'll tell you one thing that they do that gives us trouble. We've got some guys that are afraid of the jersey that says Alabama on it. We spent a lot of time frightened of their jerseys. You want to scare some of the guys on our team. Put an Alabama jersey on; it'll scare the hell out of them.
Steve?
So how do you fix it? I mean, how do you get them to play the team and not the mystique?
Oh, no, that makes me hanging in their lockers or something. I mean, because there's other really good teams that we're not afraid of their jerseys, but we're afraid of Alabama's jerseys. And then there were obviously some externals that you observed that you may or may not comment on that I'm not going to yet. And then you can evaluate that accordingly.
Steph?
Huge emphasis on yet.
Mike, I guess offensively, what were they maybe doing early on in the game to, you guys got that touchdown at the end, but before that, what were they doing, creating some turnovers, I guess, and forcing
They're more physical. They use their hands better than we did. They use their hands better. They shoved us around. The first half, we just took it. The second half, we battled back a little, but it was kind of disjointed and feeble.
Steve?
Coach, first couple of drives, you had some success running the football, even though Dillon wasn't on the field. Why were you able to be successful? Maybe what did you see from Alabama's defensive front that opened up those opportunities?
Yeah, they were kind of giving it to us, and then after a while, they shut that down, And then, you have everything. And they're a good team, obviously. You have everything. You just have to go out and execute. We didn't execute. We didn't execute because. You start out in a game, you got, say, 60 minutes, so then you spend 30 of it trying to reconcile. They have a red jersey that says Alabama, so we're going to go ahead and be scared and timid of it. Okay, then, and not use our hands and just get shoved around. Okay, then you have another half to try to win a game that you're already behind in, and still haven't fully reconciled that, and battle a little bit. And then you have a bunch of other stuff that multiplies on it. Some you're doing and some others.
Robbie?
Coach, 6 points for Bama, I think, in the second half, 90 yards of offense. What were some of the adjustments you saw from them in the second half?
I didn't see a lot. Towards the end, they just, strided it out to the finish, probably the last several series of the fourth quarter. Prior to that, I thought we played harder. I thought we used our hands better. I thought we did a lot of things that we could have done the first half and probably would have come in handier.
Steph?
I guess, what did you see from your team this week with, in practices leading up to this game, obviously balancing, what you guys were going through this week and kind of what you had seen, you mentioned before that Kentucky game you weren't too pleased with, the practices you guys had.
No, it's tough. Everybody, cares a great deal about a fellow teammate, and then so, it's tough because everybody's wrapped up with that, and understandably so,
Steve?
Coach, heading into the bye week, what's kind of your primary focus this week for your team to prepare for the home stretch?
Well, I think we got to use our hands better. If you were to say one thing, use our hands better. We don't move our hands. We don't move our hands very good. When I was a kid, I was in grade school, and I was a big dinosaur guy, and I can't remember the gas station, but they'd give you a free dinosaur. If you got filled up there, that's back when they had commercials on TV, and then they'd give something to the kids, people like me, and then and the idea was you raise hell with your parents every time you're in the station wagon. When we had one good classic, like something off of Wonder Years, it was one of those fake Woody ones where it had fake painted on wood But then the best is it would always, without exception, the finish and the varnish on it would peel. So then it looked more bogus than ever. So we had one of those. And of course, I try to sit way back in the jump seat back there, you know, so you can pretend you were in a spaceship or something. And, but anyway, so they'd have these commercials. And then, you know, hoping to get the kids to raise hell, let's go to this gas station. I can't remember what gas station it was. And they'd give you a little dinosaur, you know, and so then curious about that, go to grade school and all that. And they start talking about evolution. And, you know, like as in, if you don't use a certain part of your body, as time evolves, over, you know, century upon century, in natural selection, that part of the body disappears, and even that animal might disappear. And I'm genuinely fearful that on our team, if me and the other coaches don't get them right, that about a generation from now, their kids and their grandkids won't have hands, you know, because you know, from a lack of use, those hands just disappear. I mean, and maybe it'll be like this, like those dinosaur hands like this are, you see. And you know, you got like a Tyrannosaurus Rex who's clearly good at eating things, big old jaws and all that stuff, fairly athletic, can run. Those hands are like this. And you know, and I think we took a very, very, very big step as a team, which we have to correct this. We have to correct this because, you know, I think that in the end, that it's going to be best for all these guys that they have good hand development and that they don't evolve to where they don't have hands. Okay, but we definitely didn't use ours, and so there certainly wasn't any genetic reinforcement on our part that we should maintain our hands. I mean, and I don't want all of a sudden, you know, guys driving across this country and then they get to Starkville, Mississippi, and all of a sudden there's these athletic looking, friendly guys, because we have great guys, that don't have any hands. And I hope that that's not the case. But that's where we're headed right now, and we're going to try to get that fixed in this off week.
Alabama had several explosive plays in the passing game. How much do you think of that as a result of the time that Bryce had to throw?
That's part of it for sure. Part of it, and part of the reason he had a lot of time to throw is because we didn't use our hands. And so, you know, yeah, they didn't use their hands.
David?
By the way, it was a Sinclair station. But
oh, are they the ones who gave the dinosaur out? Did you get some too?
no, we didn't have one in our area. We were gold.
I'll tell you, the other one, Husky used to give those coins. But the guys in the Old West, you could get a Buffalo Bill one, you could get a Geronimo one, Wild Bill Hickok. It was outstanding.
You mentioned thinking about the jerseys, the AN uniform. Did that factor into the drops at all, you think?
Oh, heck yeah. I think it factored big time. You know, a ball hits you in the hand, what difference does it make if a seventh grader's throwing it or an all-pro? You know, ball flies through air, hits hands, catch. Oh, yeah.
Robbie?
With Dylan Johnson out and then Woody was out for a lot of the first half and then the second half, how did you feel like Simeon Price handled his increased reps at running back?
I thought he did good. I thought that Simeon, I would actually say, was one of our bright spots today. I would say, and Simeon's been kind of percolating a little and doing some good things. Simeon had a good camp. So I did think he did some good stuff.
A lot of drop passes today. What did you think of Will's individual performance specifically?
I didn't think that particularly good. I thought, his performance, so many people have a hand in that, you know, between him, protection O-line, and then, getting separation and being in a position to catch it and then catching it. No, I didn't think that we did a very good job of that. I thought he was late on some balls, but part of it he never really got into a rhythm. And then, so
last one, Steph.
Mike, you talked last week about, you know, wanting some more guys to step up as leaders. I guess, did anyone kind of emerge this week, especially with all you guys growing to, as, you know, in terms of the leadership perspective?
Not particularly, although, I mean, still Will and Buki are kind of the mouthpieces in trying to, you know, work and get some more people involved. And really all you got to do is just follow Will and Buki's example as far as work and general commitment, you know.
All right, thanks.